Hello, this is a Stuart Turner triple expansion marine engine, a steam engine that I've been working on for some time now, and things are at the point where I need to start thinking about some gaskets. There's a few different options, but what I settled on was some 0.1 millimeter, it's about 4 thou thick PTFE or Teflon. It's a material that supposedly works quite well as a gasket, is fairly inexpensive to purchase, and was readily available on Amazon, so I thought I'd give it a go. The challenge I saw was punching all the holes that are going to be needed in all these gaskets. Kind of creeped me out, so I came up with an idea to create some paper templates that I would then use to punch out and cut out the Teflon gaskets. Teflon's great strength is that it won't stick to anything, and I remember reading one of the early challenges was how to figure out even to get it to adhere to a frying pan. Anyways, the challenge I have is how do I get the templates to stick to it? What I found out is that cyanoacrylate adhesive, or CA, or crazy glue, instant adhesive, will stick to it briefly until the glue fully cures, I guess would be the right word for it. So this is what I did. I glued the Teflon to the paper pattern, and that would give me a period of time when it was sort of clingy or tacky that would let me punch out the gaskets. Here's the Teflon, fairly basic, 0.1 millimeters or about 4 thou thick. Comes in a nice little roll and was, $15 or something from Amazon. To do the gluing, I'm using polyethylene sheet. That's just your basic plastic film, like a dry cleaner bag. And the CA glue does not stick to it, so it's particularly handy. The pattern's cut out. A piece of Teflon is cut to size. I'm wearing neoprene gloves because I really don't want to stick everything to myself. And a little bit of CA glue is put on the paper pattern. The Teflon sheets laid on top of the paper pattern, and the polyethylene's folded over, and it's just kind of pressed. You can feel the heat coming off it slightly with your fingers. The CA glue is exothermic as it dries, and within a few seconds it's dried but not fully cured. It will stick to the polyethylene for a period of time, several minutes. And there you have it. Now I use a simple punch to punch out the holes. I keep the Teflon on the top so that the punch goes all the way through it and the paper on the bottom. And it's pretty easy to do a nice accurate job this way. I'm going through this quickly because there's a lot to do and a lot of hole stamping, and it will just get tediously boring. In a second, I'm going to move over to my resin printing station, which has got a fume hood, really just a big box store, cheapo oven exhaust fan hooked up to an old dryer vent, but it does make it a little nicer to work with the CA glue. For most of these gaskets, I'm going to cut the inside and outside lines of the gasket in situ on the engine using the parts as a guide. I'll show that next. For some of them, like the valve chests, which are straight lines, I decided to cut them on the bench. My theory is if I sort of stick somewhat inside the lines, I will not have any gasket material proud of the side of the engine. I just don't want a kind of a thin little strip of white sticking out. Turns out most of this was not really much of an issue, that it's very easy to trim in situ on the engine. So let's have a look at that now. This is my first time working with a GoPro. I usually use a fancier SLR on a tripod, which gives you a lot more control. However, the GoPro is pretty convenient. It does, however, have this wide-angle view that this is the Stuart Turner engine. I'm just taking the cylinder covers off to show you the first gasket. At this point, the glue has dried enough that there's just nothing on the gasket. It's very, very clean. And we'll check and see if it fits the bolt pattern. So everything's working out so far. Got to be pretty happy with that. You might notice the gray pad that I'm working on. This is a really wonderful arrangement. It's a silicone pad and it's got a lip around it, so it not only does it stop parts from bouncing, but it also stops them from rolling off the table. They're sold to people with pets so that they can put their food and water, I guess, on them and keep their floors clean. But it makes just a perfect mat to assemble models on. It's quite easy with the knife to follow around the metal edge to cut out the profiles, the ID and the OD of the gasket in this case. I had a few more filmed, the valve chests, etc. that I could show you, but I'm starting to feel a good video is a short video, so we'll leave it at that. As you can see, I got pretty good results with this gasket without too much fuss. So I hope that helps, and thanks for watching.